Hello students, in this video we are going to discuss about the projectiles, another concept. In this particular we will discuss about those cases where we know that particle is said to be thrown from some height above than the ground at a given height, and either it is thrown horizontally or it is thrown obliquely, right? And then we need to know that what is the time taken by the particle to reach the ground, with what velocity it strikes the ground, right? How far away from the building from where it is thrown, that is the horizontal range, or even we need to know that the direction of the particle while strike at a point on ground. Okay, all the concepts and few problems based on this. Now you are watching this physics video by me. I am Shubhasish Das, the physics faculty of IIT Joint Tutorial, your favorite physics based channel in which not only physics, you get the mainly mathematics based videos also. So let's begin to the discussion, the main important point, and I'll tell you that if you are coming first time on this channel, then don't forget to subscribe this channel, and at the same time press the button for the notification so that you can always come to know about the next upcoming videos. If you get associated with this channel, then I can assure you, you are going to learn beautiful and interesting concepts, most useful concepts about how to improve your understanding in physics. You will start loving physics, most importantly, and not only that, your theoretical concept, theoretical approach in understanding any situation, along with the most important thing, that is the numerical solving capability. Yes, the numerical solving skill in physics, which is very much important, especially if you are an aspirant for JEE or NEET. So this particular objective will definitely be fulfilled here. So let's enjoy the video lecture. So in this, as I said, that we will discuss about those projectile which are said to be thrown at some height above the ground. So let this is be a building I am taking. Let this is be of height h. Okay, from the top of the building, this is a particle thrown horizontally. The first condition I am taking as a horizontal projection. Okay, so if a particle is throwing horizontally, then it will travel along this path to reach the ground. If I consider the initial point from where it is thrown, if I consider the top of the building as A, let the bottom of the building as B, and let this point where the particle strikes the ground, let it be C. So path is A to C following the parabolic path, right? So in this parabolic path, we know that particle is thrown horizontally. What do we know more about it? That during the motion, the weight of the particle will always act vertically downward. That means the important accelerating factor, that is the acceleration due to gravity, that will always act vertically downward. So this concept of acceleration, that is acting vertically downward in direction, that is suggesting about the horizontal velocity that is supposed to remain constant as u meter per second. There will be no influence of g in changing the magnitude of the velocity of the horizontal one with which it is thrown. If it is thrown with the u meter per second, if I, for example, if I go for a numerical data, something like that, u is taken to be 4 meter per second, it is falling through a height, for example, 40 meter. Okay, 40 meter is the height taken. G, for the numerical convenience, we can consider it to be 10. So first of all, what will be the time of journey? To know the time of journey, that is from A to C, particle is starting from A, which is the top of the building, at 40 meter above the ground, thrown horizontally in presence of constant gravitational acceleration, which is suggesting the horizontal velocity remains constant throughout the motion. So if I am taking it 4 meter per second, so that horizontal velocity will remain 4 meter per second till the last instant just before hitting the ground. Okay, it will be the vertical velocity that will keep on changing. Initial vertical velocity at A will be obviously 0, because we know that whenever we know about one vector and we want to know its effect in a direction perpendicular to itself, so perpendicular to an existing direction of a vector, in its perpendicular direction its magnitudinal effect will be 0. So being horizontal is ux as 4 meter per second, means its corresponding uy, the initial vertical, will be 0. This is, we are talking about at a, that is at t equal to 0 second, that is at the absolutely starting instant only. But then from that instant onwards, as because acceleration due to gravity will be taken into consideration, so that means we can say that the vertical velocity Vy is what? The vertical velocity that will keep on changing following this mathematical relation. In kinematics, as the vertical acceleration is constant, so that's why the instantaneous vertical velocity, I'm taking the vertical line as y-axis, horizontal line referred as x-axis. So y component of velocity as a function of time will be given by initial vertical velocity plus g into t, because g is constant throughout the motion acting along the vertically downward direction. Is that clear? So therefore we know that initial vertical velocity 0, that plus 10 into t. So we need to know the value of t. Yes. T is the time what we need to calculate, that is TAC. So we know that in a journey from A to C, vertical displacement is known to us. So vertical displacement will be is 40 meter. So particle is thrown from the top of the building with a horizontal velocity and it is striking the ground. So ground position is 40 meter below the top of the building. So that means particle is, though following the traveling along a parabolic path, but it is ultimately losing a vertical height of 40 meter. So we can write down the 40 meter will be the vertical displacement, that is equal to uy into t plus half gt square. Initial y direction velocity is 0. So if I put this 0 into t plus g taking 10, this, right? So from this part we can write down t square is equal to 8. So t will be equal to 2 root 2 second, isn't it? Because when 40 will be equated with this, so 0, 40 and 10, 0 can be cancelled out, so t square will become 8. So t is 2 root 2 second, right? So we have got the time of journey. This TAC will be 2 root 2 seconds. So particle will take this much time to reach the ground. Now question arises, while reaching the ground, it is taking this much time, right? So its horizontal component, that is ux, is equal to vx. That means if I say the striking velocity magnitude is v, then its two corresponding components can be written as vy and vx. Vy with the vertical velocity component at the time of striking the ground, and vx is the corresponding horizontal velocity. As because we know that horizontal velocity numerically remains constant at every point, so that's why vx can be written equal to ux, right? So therefore we can write down at point C, at point C where it is striking the ground. So there Vx is equal to Ux, which is 4 meter per second, and Vy, as I said that at any instant y direction velocity can be obtained by using this formula. Vy is equal to Uy plus Gt. So as because we have come to know about the time of flight and that Gt will be 10 into T. So instead of T we can write down 2 root 2. So it will be 10 into 2 root 2 means 20 root 2 meter per second. So yes, 20 root 2 meter per second is the y direction velocity of the particle at the time of hitting the ground. So yes, while the particle is striking the ground with some unknown velocity v, then we do not know directly that striking velocity magnitude, the net velocity magnitude v, but yes, we have come here about the respective component. Its horizontal component at the time of striking the ground will be 4, and its vertical component is coming, as per calculation we are getting it 20 root 2, because time of flight we have got it as per the calculation because of the loss of vertical height, of 40 meter, particle starting from the top of the building, starting horizontally, traveling all along the parabolic path, hitting the ground at C, means dropping through 40 meter to reach the ground position, and based on that we have calculated the y direction velocity. So therefore at C, net velocity which is v, that can be written under root of vx square plus vy square. Are you getting me? The net striking velocity, this v, at the time of striking the ground at this point C, it is having two component, horizontal value as well as vertical value, velocity value. So based on this we can write down vx is 4, so square of 4 is 16, and vy being this, so square of this it will be 400 into 2, that is 800. Are you getting me? Because vy we have just got 20 root 2, square of this will be, square of 20 will be 400, that into 2, that is 800. So in all together it will be the calculation of under root of 816 meter per second. Okay, this will be the net velocity magnitude of the particle at the time of striking the ground. Now question arises, what is the direction of the particle while it is striking the ground? So if I assume, let the angle be taken as something theta, let the particle is velocity v, which is being it is having both x component and y component magnitude, so net velocity will be somewhere in between these two components. So let it be this, I am assuming some angle theta with the horizontal direction, so that I can express the direction of this velocity in terms of theta. So here we can say that tan theta, numerically tan theta will be here, as because it is with the x component, so y component by x component, so it will be vy by vx. So vy value numerically we got as 20 root 2, and vx value we got it as 4, so that means it is 5 root 2. Are you getting it? It will be 5 root 2 as the numerical value of tan theta, where theta is the angle made by the net velocity, net striking velocity with respect to the horizontal direction as a reference line. So therefore we can say about direction, particle is striking at an angle theta is equal to tan inverse 5 root 2 with horizontal 5 root 2 with horizontal. Got my point? So direction of motion while striking the ground surface will be at an angle theta tan inverse 5 root 2 with the reference line taken as ground. Okay, so what are the things we have come to know? We have come to know about three things. First of all, what will be the time of journey to reach the ground? This is the first answer. Okay, second, with what velocity it will strike the ground? So yes, we got that velocity as under root of 816. You can further simplify it. I'm not doing it, not wasting time of doing that. Okay, I believe that you can do this. And about the direction, so considering the angle theta taken with the horizontal, so then this side will be the base of the right angle triangle geometry, this side will be perpendicular, so tan theta is known to be perpendicular to base, so that's why Vy value by Vx value, solving it we are getting 5 root 2. So we have got this three important thing. And the last one more calculation is usually asked in such type of question, that is about the range or the horizontal displacement, that is wherever particle is striking the ground. Sometimes it is asked in terms of the horizontal range, sometimes it is asked about how far away from the building the particle is striking the ground. So all the thing means it is regarding the calculation of x. As we know, the horizontal velocity of 4 meter per second from starting instant onwards remains constant, so that will remain constant during the entire time of flight, that is 2 root 2 second. So therefore we can write down x will be equal to constant velocity into time of flight, that is equal to 8 root 2 meter. So this is the answer of that portion of that particular part of the question, where if you are asked to answer about how far away from the building the particle will strike. So yes, it will strike the particle using the horizontal velocity that will remain constant throughout the motion during the time of flight. So that's why time of flight is the one of the most important information we need to evaluate if it is not given in a question, because without knowing that, neither will be able to know the vertical velocity component, nor we will know about the horizontal displacement in any particular part of the journey. Right? I hope you have understood this. So if you have understood the concept of this particular question, then I expect that you will practice a lot based on a similar concept, and I will come again with variation based on this situation in our next video lecture discussion. So yes, once again, if you are coming first time, if you have watched the entire video, you got some important arguments, got some simplest way to understand how to approach about solving numerical of this type, then you can get many more tricks, concepts, theoretical knowledge with the how to use it in solving numericals through all the videos in our channel. So don't forget to subscribe it and like our videos if you have got the content, if you have found it useful. So we expect the you will like the video, and definitely share it among the other students and help all of them to learn physics conceptually. Okay, thank you.